2. Cool.
I love it when it does that.
102. What's up, everyone, from the internet world and the Unhinged Sports Network? I'm your host, Michael. As always, you're listening to the Air Raid Attack podcast. I got a good buddy of mine, the host of the Time to BS podcast, Dan. Welcome back to the Air Raid Attack.
Hello, Michael.
How you doing?
How's everyone doing today, guys? How's everyone doing?
Hopefully, everyone's having a wonderful week. And before we get to the good subjects that we got lined up for today's show, of course, tomorrow will be a Thursday. Hopefully, next Thursday, you'll be hearing the live show. But Michelle and Whitney from the Baggin' Broads podcast coming on. They actually reached out.
Why haven't they come up with us? That sounds like a perfect Time to BS name.
Dude, I love their name.
What's their Twitter account? I gotta follow them.
I don't know if they even have one. I'm trying to find one. They do have Facebook. I think it's the Bag and Broads podcast as well as Facebook. But Michelle and Whitney, from the short conversations I've been having with them all week, excellent people. Going to be introducing the sport of cornhole. I don't know nothing about it, but nonetheless, that's perfect because that's a way to get exposed. So we'll go that route. And of course, working on a big time special guest. But unfortunately, I can't release that right now until the official announcement or until the official final details is wrapped up.
How the hell do you spell Baggin' Broads, by the way? I can't find it.
Baggin Broads. I think they just have Facebook, I believe. Unless you have better luck than I do on Twitter. I haven't found much luck on Twitter.
I'm gonna find this because they sound fun.
I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. Definitely looking forward to it. But
I have no Twitter. This is weird.
it is. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that because, I know a lot of people just don't. I think a lot of people, not saying that that's part of them, but nowadays, how the Twitter is, I don't blame people for not having one.
No problem. All right, let's get this on the road, man. What do we got for me?
In the meantime, we got quite a bit to talk about. First things first, Dan. Major shakeup in the Boston Celtics front office. I was at work when it broke the news. I was shocked. Danny Ainge is out. He stepped down. Brad Stevens removed himself as the head coach of Boston and puts himself in that position. What are your thoughts on this humongous shakeup in the Celtics?
Well, as you know, I'm a Knicks fan, so I can feel more than happy of the fact that Danny Ainge is out. Well, he's technically retired as president and GM of basketball operations for the Boston Celtics. Here's where things get dicey for me. It looks like Kenny Atkinson is going to be the favorite to be the head coach of the Boston Celtics the last time I checked.
Yep.
Brad Stevens is now the president of basketball ops and general manager for the Boston Celtics.
Correct.
Good fit when you think about it. I particularly Stephen A. Smith over at ESPN has been screaming of the fact of why has an African-American man been hired as GM or head coach of the Celtics? I get it's Boston, but goddamn. I mean,
well, exactly.
I have no problem with this. I have no problem with Ainge retiring. He's had a successful run since 2007, I believe, as president of the Celtics. Yeah. He's had a very successful run with the Celtics. Brad Stevens, I'm torn with him. I'm torn with Brad Stevens. I like Brad Stevens, the coach. Love Brad Stevens, the coach. Phenomenal coach. I'm curious to see Brad Stevens, the GM, because coaches turn general managers, particularly in the NBA.
Yeah.
We don't know how good they're going to be.
I mean, most don't do very well.
Most of them have flopped.
I.e. Phil Jackson with New
York Knicks. Yes, a prime example is Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
it's very interesting to see how this is going to. I mean, if you count Magic Johnson too, kind of, but it's they haven't worked. So this is going to be curious. This is going to be very interesting to see how it's going to work out. It's the Celtics. I have a love-hate relationship with the Celtics. They're my most tolerable Boston team because I deep respect for the Celtics. Screw the Red Sox, screw the Bruins, screw the Patriots. You know how I feel about the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think it's going to do pretty good for Boston in the long run, depending on how Brad Stevens is as an executive.
I agree. And, Brad Stevens threw my expectations out the water. I thought, here we go again, another college coach. Not only a college coach, but a mid-major at very best, Butler, comes into the NBA, succeeds as a head coach. Like I said, definitely bit my words on that. Now we get to see, like you brought up, we get to see the general manager, Brad Stevens. What is his style of basketball? Is he going to continue with the style of basketball? Is he going to go out and get the big free agent signees, or is he going to stick to small, what we consider the small market free agencies? I mean, but I'm actually excited, but curious how this is going to work out.
Yeah, me too. I can't blame you on that one.
Speaking of NBA playoffs, your New York Knicks currently, as we were recording, down to the Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young, the former Oklahoma Sooner.
They had it coming.
I'm a little disappointed, though.
They had it coming. They did. I mean, they don't have a pure shooter. If they were to Julius Randle, as good as he's been this season, as great as he's been this season, he is not a superstar. You need a superstar game wrecker in the NBA to succeed. The first guy I thought of is Kawhi Leonard.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Kawhi Leonard would be your best option.
First guy I thought of was Kawhi Leonard or Chris Paul. One of those two is going to get one of those two will get the Knicks to where they need to go. More Chris Paul than Kawhi Leonard because you've seen the Chris Paul effect in the NBA, starting with the Phoenix Suns. Speaking of Ryan, if you're listening to this, Suns in 6.
I do remember when it was you and I and who was it? John.
It was John. It was Ryan. It was Jack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lakers and Suns debacle argument. That was hilarious.
Oh, that was fun.
And right now the Suns are up what? 3-2.
3-2. 3 games to 2. Yep. Please, I want to spam Ryan. Please do it for me, Phoenix.
I hope Phoenix wins. I like Chris Paul. I like a huge Devin Booker guy, but
oh yeah. Speaking of, Devin Booker played at Duke, right?
I believe so.
Devin Booker played at Duke. Give me a second. I'm going to Google that for you. While you, Devin Booker. Give me a second. Devin Booker,
Kentucky.
At Kentucky. Yep. Close enough.
Might as well be Duke. They have the same colors.
Close enough. Same record of school.
Yeah.
It's fine. But, Jesus, Duke. How far have they fallen?
Dude, this is going to be a weird year in college basketball. Coach K announces his retirement at the end of this following season, 42 years, which is, I'll remind you, regardless if you like Duke or not, that's pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
42 years.
At Duke.
At one school, that's impressive.
Yeah. Yep. I mean,
Duke, hasn't had the much success, of course, horrible success last year.
Not their fault.
Well, no. And programs like this, eventually, it was like the Knicks. We saw this coming. Kentucky, North Carolina, Duke, Arizona, Kansas, teams that predominantly are win in, win out, national championships. Eventually, the one and done rules were eventually going to catch up to them. And I think it finally caught up to them.
Yep.
We change that. That's ridiculous. But whatever.
That should be changed. I'm sorry.
Either go to high school or go to college for 3 years. So, whatever.
Not yours. Trae Young did last 1 year at Oklahoma before he went to the draft.
Dude, that kid was a baller at Norman North.
Oh my God.
High school. This kid, I saw him in person quite a bit at Oklahoma. Dude, this kid.
He could shoot.
Special.
He could shoot.
He can shoot. And we're not even talking 3-point line. We're talking way beyond the 3-point
30 feet, 32 feet, 35 feet.
And he makes it.
He could shoot.
It's nothing but net.
Exactly.
This kid,
oh man.
I'm not saying he's gonna, do anything. I mean, he may be with the Lambs his entire career. He may not be. I don't see it happening, but you never know.
I'm gonna go to the Knicks. Please give us a top 5 free agent. Please.
You want LeBron James?
No. God, no.
If the Lakers lose, regardless if it's 6 or 7, to the Suns,
retire, please.
Is this the end of LeBron?
Please retire. I'm sick of him. I've been sick of him.
I've been sick of him.
Okay.
When he came in.
Here's where the rant part. Here's where the rant part of me comes out because I'm down 3 beers. I'm down 3 beers and a shot of Fireball.
Nice.
And a glass of Jack and ginger ale. So if you know what I'm talking about, thank you. But I have been sick of LeBron James since he won the championship with the Lakers last year. He said, "This is the most improbable journey. This is the most difficult challenge of my career and all of sports." Okay, cool. Last time I checked, you single-handedly destroyed Golden State. You could have destroyed him twice. Okay? Last time I checked, you're not in the NHL playoffs. You're not in the hockey playoffs. That's the most difficult sport. That's the most difficult championship to win.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anyone who says the NBA playoffs are the most difficult tournament in 4 major sports clearly do not watch hockey.
Well, no.
So, I mean, I'm sick of him. I'm sick of his bullshit. And quite frankly, he needs to be sent where Art Briles is, former Baylor head coach, and that's hell.
Yep.
Sorry, LeBron, but it's the truth. It's the truth. You get full rant to me.
I have nothing wrong with LeBron up until he left for Miami. The way he did. The decision, I think is what they call it. The decision.
He had to make it public about himself.
That was stupid.
Always about himself.
That was stupid. What was it at the Boys Club of America or some organization for kids, which whatever. So he went to Miami. He bought him 3 rings. So, or was it 2?
Rings.
2 rings.
4 straight finals appearances, 2 championships.
That's right.
You're welcome.
And so you got to Miami. You got Bosch. You got Wade. Birdman, I still think was a huge help as well.
Ray Allen.
I mean, there's more people that did it instead of LeBron. You go back to Cleveland. You win a ring, regardless if it's hoax or not, whatever. You win a ring. You go to LA, win another ring. So and that's fine and dandy. The issue I have with LeBron is when it comes to politics, when it comes to players.
I will make an argument, though, for this. LeBron is, at best, the 3rd best player in NBA history.
Ooh.
Because I think Jordan's above him. I especially think Kobe's above him.
Well, Jordan and Kobe is 1 and 2.
I have a deep respect for Kobe Bryant.
What Kobe did is what we're not going to ever see again.
With Kobe, I mean, Kobe would make it about himself, but that's because he could.
Well, yeah.
Kobe fucking Bryant.
When you win, when you're consistently winning, you can.
When you consistently win with one team.
Yeah.
One team for 20 years. Jordan played, 15 years?
Mm-hmm.
15, 16 years he played 15 years with the Bulls.
And 1 year with the Wizards.
He played like 3 or 4 years with the Wizards. Okay, cool. That's great. I mean, you're Michael Jordan. I get it. You're the greatest player of all time, arguably. I mean, Kobe outworked everyone.
Yep.
Everyone. So, I mean, particularly you get these schmucks out, particularly Ryan Splash, who says, "Oh, LeBron's the greatest ever." I'm like, sure. I mean, let's not forget, LeBron built a super team to get past the Celtics super team just to get to Kobe. Let's not forget that. So I digress.
Michael Jordan's 6-0 in the finals compared to LeBron's losing record.
Sorry.
I mean, that's the facts. I mean, I just wish LeBron would shut up about politics and China and anything else he wants to say and actually play basketball. Nobody cares.
Here's the point. Here's the problem. And we can get to another topic with this Naomi Osaka with tennis. I have a deep respect for Naomi Osaka for what she did. And it was I'm sorry for taking over, man.
No, you're good.
But Naomi Osaka is quite possibly the best tennis player in the world right now. I mean, I don't know shit about tennis, but I know about her because she has been battling depression, social anxiety, you fucking name it. And she withdrew from the French Open, which is arguably the second biggest tournament in the history of tennis behind Wimbledon. Behind Wimbledon. And I know that. She withdrew and she said, "Yeah, I'm focusing on my mental health." Most people would say, "Shut up and play tennis." Now, I respect that. For Naomi to drop out, to withdraw from the tournament and say, "Hey, I'm going to focus on me so I can get myself back on the court." That's respect. I respect that. With LeBron, it's different because it's LeBron James. I mean, the kid from Akron. I mean, he didn't go to college. So what? And news reporters are like, "Shut up and dribble, stay out of politics." True. This is true. Until you get to, I mean, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it, but it's
open mic on my podcast, so.
There you go. Hey, open mic on Mike's podcast.
I like that.
There you go. I found your slogan.
I like that.
You're welcome. But it's tricky because LeBron has been a social justice warrior for God knows how long and God knows how much time. Naomi Osaka has been battling depression for a few years, granted, or for how long, I don't know. Again, I can't really say shit, but regardless. Oh boy, this is tricky. Very tricky, Mike.
I support her, and I know a lot of people, the journalists got to do their job as well, but I give her props because she came out to say that practically, which is true, her health is more important
than your ass covering my ass.
I mean,
this is true. It's respect.
Exactly.
I respect the hell out of her for that.
Oh, absolutely. She could have been out here and say,
she said everything but fuck you.
Yeah. She says, "I don't care if you guys get mad. I'm not doing no interview, or I'm not going to go play in the French Open. I
don't care. I'm doing my.
I'm taking care of me."
Which is true. Which is true.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
I give her mad props.
Mike, I want to get your thoughts on Julio Jones.
Before we do that, the 76ers just closed out the series with the Wizards.
Good.
So,
Screw Russell Westbrook.
Hey, Russ, how's that championship ring taste? It's not going to But anyway, yes, Julio Jones.
Oh, boy.
You text me this week. My thoughts. Seattle, of course, is one of the teams. The Rams seems to be I know Alexis Kraft, who I follow on Twitter. We've talked from time to time.
I'm gonna respond with the Seahawks saying, "Fuck you."
Falcons come out to say, "Hey, we'll be glad to take a second round pick."
If we're
Are you still? Would you still
fine.
pick him up? The catch-22 is you're going to grab his 36 mil.
No. Okay. I will say this. I am not touching my draft picks. Because what do I have? 6? Draft 5? I don't know. I'm going to Google this quick while we're talking about this.
I like what George Payton said of the general manager of the Denver Broncos. I loved what he said. And it was an article that I read. I was going to share it with you, and I totally forgot, or at least tell you about it. But I love what George Payton said. George Payton, the general manager of Denver Broncos, he got questioned about the Aaron Rodgers potential trade, the rumored trade. We got potential, would you go after like a Julio Jones? And I simply love what George Payton said was this. We're drafting. I'm keeping my picks there for the future. I know I can eventually say it. For the future, I'm being very extremely cautious.
Good. I love him already.
This dude reminds me of Scott Presti, the general manager of Oklahoma City. We're going to keep as many picks as we can keep and utilize them when we utilize them. And I know Clyde Butler was on here last week. And if you missed the show, definitely, subscribe on iTunes, Google, all that good stuff, and listen to last week's show. Everyone keeps saying, pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger. I'm not pulling the trigger on Aaron Rodgers. I'm definitely not giving 3 first-round picks. 2, I'm still
Speaking of draft picks, the Seahawks have a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 2 4s, a 5th, a 6th, and a 7th for 2022. So realistically, this would make the most sense.
Yeah, it could, yeah.
God help me. He's going to go to Seattle, is he? Oh, man.
I think he goes to LA.
If he goes to the Rams. Oh, my God. If he goes to the Rams, I mean, granted, yes, we have Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, who are arguably better than most of the receivers there, because a certain DeAndre Hopkins exists in Arizona, and Cooper Kupp is a damn good player.
Mm-hmm. Robert Woods can play, but
Robert Woods can ball.
Yeah.
Robert Woods can ball. But, oh man, here is the thing. I specifically target Russell Wilson for this occasion. Russ, give us $15 million of your salary or more than that in cap space. We got a deal. We have a deal. Because I would call the Falcons immediately if that happens and be like, hey, listen, we'll give you, I don't know, something. Just nothing too crazy. Now, John Schneider has had a history of doing this. Mm-hmm. The general manager of the Seahawks can fleece teams. Most notably, I look at Dwayne Brown. I look at 2 instances, Dwayne Brown and Carl Dunlap. And Quandre Diggs, that makes 3. Quandre Diggs is a ball hawk at safety. 5th round pick. Yep. 5th round pick. Carlos Dunlap, arguably one of the better pass rushers of the last 6 years. 7th round pick and a backup center. Dwayne Brown. Name better left tackles in the history in football the last 10 years than Dwayne Brown. Other than Joe Thomas, because that's easy. 2nd round pick and a 3rd round pick. Plus Jeremy Lane, who ended up going back to Seattle in the deal. 2 picks for a Hall of Fame left tackle. How does that happen? So, do I have confidence they can do this? Yes, they can. Realistically, they can pull this off. The question is, how are they going to do it? How are they going to pull this off?
If you're the Seattle Seahawks, if you're John Schneider, let's play as the what-if position. Let's put you as John Schneider for the next 4 minutes.
Cool.
Let's say we're gonna give Atlanta a phone call, And we're going to say, hey, Atlanta, we read the article, we read the rumors. You're willing to, we'll give you a second because that's what obviously you guys are willing to take that. I mean, that's you guys just want him. Apparently, you just want him out at this point.
Yep.
Would you? And I would hate to see Julio go because I think him and Kyle Pitts would be a heck of a duo, but whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But you would, besides the second pick, would you trade anything else? Or how would you work your cap space as well? Because
okay,
you got a lot right there in two players in Russ and Julio.
Restructure Russ's deal right out of the gate. Restructure his deal right out of the gate. That's not even hard. Restructure Dwayne's deal right out of the gate. Restructure. I mean, you can't restructure Gabe Jackson because you just extended him. Restructure Bobby's deal. I would restructure Ross's deal, Bobby's deal in a heartbeat, because realistically, their defense will not be this as bad as they were last year. They can't. They can't be as bad as they were last year. I mean, they got Carl Dunlap back on a 2-year deal. They got him for a full season. Jamal Adams, assuming he's going to be here for the full ride. They got a good corner in Trey Brown, who's their 4th-round rookie this year. Alton Robinson, 2nd in rookies and sacks. I mean, it's not a bad team. Let's be clear. It's not a bad team. They just drafted Dwayne Eskridge in the 2nd round, though, out of Central Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Western Michigan, excuse me. That's the problem I have. I mean, out of all of the holes that they have, their biggest hole is probably wide receiver. Because corner, they have depth. Safety, they have depth. Linebacker, they kind of have depth. Defensive line, yes, they have depth. Yeah. Surprisingly, they have depth at defensive line. Offensive line, depth. Tight end, depth. Running back, depth.
Yep.
I mean, quarterback, that's another story, but because I don't know. They technically have 3 quarterbacks on their roster, but who do I care? If they get Julio Jones, they're instantly the NFC favorite in the Super Bowl. Instantly. Not even a question. This team went 12-4 and won 7 home games with no fans in their stands.
Yep.
They have no fans in Lumen Field, excuse me. They had no fans at home in Seattle, and they went almost undefeated. They were 12-4 with no fans. How is this team going to be with fans in Seattle? Unbelievable what's going to happen. And if they get Julio Jones, yes, I pray to the football gods. I want Julio Jones. I want to be clear here. I want Julio Jones. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want Julio Jones?
Exactly.
Who wouldn't? Name a more dominant receiver since 2011 than Julio Jones. Arguably better than Calvin Johnson. Name one. Other than Calvin Johnson. And Antonio Brown. Not a lot.
Really, I would consider Antonio being 3rd behind Jones and Megatron.
Exactly. And that offense would be scary.
Could you see the 49ers, even though they would take approximately a $15.3 million cap hit, could we see Julio in the Bay?
Realistically, the only other team that would make more sense is San Francisco because of Kyle Shanahan. When I saw Julio Jones was available, I said, okay, San Francisco, the Patriots, or a long shot Seattle would be those 3 teams that would make a sense. Tennessee, I don't see how Tennessee does it. I don't see how the Titans.
And that's my next team. Tennessee is big time rumored, and so is
I don't see how the Titans do it. Tennessee realistically could do it because I see Tennessee willing to give up a 1st-round pick for him because they're that close.
They're there. They just have to get that one missing player away.
That's the thing. Yeah. They're there. Except $33 million to Ryan Tannehill certainly doesn't count. Certainly doesn't help.
Well, no, they would have to. They would have to restructure that.
Yep. You know what? Julio Jones to Seattle. Let's go. Jones to the Hawks. Let's go. Let's make this count. Let's see how we can do.
What would you do? It's not even a possibility. But let's just play. I'm just gonna say it, throw it out there. What would you do if Arizona got him?
I would throw myself out the window and then down myself in Fireball. I'd be like, listen, I'd be happy for the Cards because realistically, what have they done since 2008? Nothing. Realistically, nothing. Oh, you went to an NFC Championship game at 13-3. Yay, cool. I mean, anyone was going to get destroyed by Carolina.
Yeah.
You were fucked the second you lost to Green Bay and went to the NFC Championship game. I digress. Let's move on.
Speaking of continued trade rumors, I still think he goes to Tennessee, Julio.
God help me.
I think he goes to Tennessee.
God help me.
Trade rumors continue. Aaron Rodgers. Do we even have anything here for Aaron Rodgers at this point?
No.
First of all, I don't think he even gets traded.
He's not getting traded. No one's trading for a 37-year-old quarterback, league MVP, with that cap hit and that attitude. No one's doing that. I don't care who you are.
I'm not trading one simply because of his age.
I'm not trading for the draft capital.
No. Well, that too, yeah.
I don't even have a first-round pick.
Well, like I told Clyde and everybody else on Twitter, I took a humongous lashing of it, but I'll still stick to my guns. I still would not trade for Aaron Rodgers when it consists of 2 to 3 first-round picks. I'm not trading my future for a guy that may or may not win you a Super Bowl, may or may not even make it through a season. I'm just not. And his cap space and his cap is outrageous.
Yep. Oh boy. Jesus. What's his face? Montreal is up 2-1. I think 2-1. I think more than that on the Winnipeg Jets right now. By the way, fuck Toronto. If you cover hockey. Knicks just lost in their series.
Did they?
Yeah, they lost. They had it coming. Montreal is up 4-2 right now on the Jets. Montreal's scary.
I like Montreal. You know who's another team that's scary? Colorado.
Oh, my God.
The Avs.
Oh, boy.
But 100% capacity in Power Field at Mile High. I expect that to be the rest of the 31 NFL clubs as well, I'm sure.
Yo, watch Boston the Islanders Game 3 at the Coliseum tomorrow. 7:30 NBCSN. You're going to love it. That building, Nassau Coliseum, is going to be 85% capacity. I don't care. 85% capacity is loud.
Well, of course.
It's going to be loud there at the old barn. It'll be crazy.
Of course, Tampa Bay is Carolina's a must-win situation tomorrow.
Are they really? Well, was it 2 games to 1?
2 games zip right now, Tampa, yeah.
Good. Fuck Carolina. I'm sorry. I like the Hurricanes. I like Hurricanes Twitter.
I like just reading the Twitter.
Jordan Martinook and Andrei Sveshnikov. Speaking of, Mr. Sveshnikov! People are going to listen to that and they're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I don't know. Drinks. That's it. So there's that.
But your thoughts? How should I word this? What are your thoughts on the future of the NBA rest of the playoffs? Have you seen these fans, Dan? We're throwing popcorn at Russ Westbrook. We're throwing water bottles at
So
Kyrie
what?
Irving.
These players probably deserve it because they're assholes.
What arena was it that this fan ran on the court and got tackled?
I'm glad. Okay, that he deserved that. But
Well, yeah.
Don't run the. That's the cardinal sin. Don't. I mean, here's the thing. Trash talk players all you want. I don't give a shit. Don't throw anything at the players.
Well, no.
Unless if they instigated you, which in this case, the media is going to cover like, oh, fan throws, stuffed teddy bear at Russell Westbrook, causing him to injure his groin and be out for the year. What the fuck? Like, who cares? I mean, I'm sorry, but like, who cares? Like, okay, cool. You throw popcorn at Russell Westbrook. Cool. That's awesome. You throw a water bottle at Kyrie Irving. Okay, cool. It's Boston and New York. It's fine.
Yep.
Boston, New York. It's an excusable behavior. I get it, but like, God, who the hell cares? You got schmucks throwing shit at baseball players all the fucking time.
Well, did you see the charges for these guys? They're getting felony charges.
Battery?
Yeah.
Who the hell?
That's the surprising part.
I don't care about throwing shit. It's the charges I don't understand.
And I get, well, they're banned. Okay, whoopie-doo. Who cares? They'll probably come in.
They're going to be fine.
And they're probably going to come in undercover. I mean, they're not gonna have their picture out the window, at the gate, however they walk in. Nobody cares. But the fact that you're getting charged felony and battery, felony charges for battery, you're banned. Really? Popcorn? Water bottle? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what the guy that got. I know he got banned, but I don't know what the guy that ran on the court. I don't know if he even got anything. I'm sure he probably didn't. But I don't know. It's interesting. I know someone tweeted out that is here locally. Do we think that the fans are going to? I don't know. I still think if they ban fans, then they ban the fans. I don't really know. However, speaking of, not really anything, what's your take on who gets the Oakland Athletics team? Does it go to Vegas? Does it go to Portland? Or do we see someone else coming up from behind? For years, Vancouver always try to grab a Major League Baseball team. I don't know much about Portland's metropolitan area, so I mean they may.
Portland realistically would be great for the A's. That would make the most sense. Baseball is going to want to send to Vegas.
Well, of course. They're going to try. That's their hope.
That's their hope. Now, if I were Major League Baseball, I would consider expansion.
I still thought Major League Baseball should be expanding at least. There's 30 teams, right?
Yeah, there's 30 teams right now. Realistically, it would make the most sense. I could name 4 places.
Do what? 4 more teams?
That would be great.
17 on each side.
Oklahoma City, 1.
Yep.
Oklahoma City,
Yep.
Right out of the gate.
Yep.
Right out of the gate, Oklahoma City. Buffalo. Buffalo would be fantastic for baseball.
I think with Toronto Blue Jay, gives him a little, hey, here's your chance to shine here.
The next one, this one's tricky because I don't know. Indiana, maybe.
Yeah, Indianapolis have been mentioned. Yeah,
Indianapolis, probably. Vegas, duh.
Vegas will eventually get one. It's just whether it be a new team.
Do the Angels play in Anaheim? Just a quick question. Do the Angels play in Anaheim or are they stuck in Los Angeles?
No, they're in Anaheim.
Good. I'm going to strangle somebody if they're not in Anaheim.
Now, I don't know why they're called the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I thought the most stupidest thing that there is, but whatever.
So stupid. The next option, Vancouver.
See, I always thought they should go back in Canada. Add another team in Canada.
Yeah, it'll make a ton of sense. Ton of sense.
You ever see Montreal get another one?
The Expos coming back? I don't know. It'd be tricky for me. As much as I love to see the Expos come back, they kind of fuck themselves.
Well, they're the reason why they lost the national, well, the Expos at the time, now the Nationals. But I would say Vegas. I still think Vegas gets one regardless, especially now with the NHL there, the NFL there.
For a second.
You're good. WNBA, of course, they're there. Vegas is getting a big time market. I still think Vegas gets one. Portland could be interesting.
Portland would make the most sense because Russell Wilson has already vouched for the Portland baseball team to happen. Because he's a part owner of the Trailblazers.
True.
To my knowledge.
Be amazing to have Oklahoma City. Not a lot of people realize, but back in 2006, when the Florida Marlins were having issues, and they still have issues with fan base, but whatever. At one point in time, they were talking about Florida Marlins moving up here.
That makes sense.
Charlotte, North Carolina, I would keep hearing. I don't know much about that area either.
Carolina would make sense also because that's a good baseball area. God, it's another good one. I'm gonna throw one out here. Alabama. Because Alabama's really a football town, but football state.
Yeah, big time.
Big time. But then
nowhere in Texas left that you can really.
Dallas.
True.
I mean, they have the Rangers, so.
Florida's fine.
Oh, boy.
The East Coast is good. Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Cleveland. I really don't think there's anywhere. I'm sure I'm missing one, but.
Oh, shit. Did I cut you out?
No, can you hear me?
I can see you. Damn it, my mouse fell. Oh, there we go. Technology issue for Dan. What a surprise. Oh, boy.
But New York Yankees struggling. You still worried? I'm not. It's still a little early, even though we're 2 months into baseball. I'm not worried just yet. I am worried about the Yankees starting pitching, though.
Yeah. I'll blame you on that one. Oh, boy. Shut up, car. There's a car. Can you hear that?
No. What's it doing? Is it alarm going off?
Alarm going off. Some jackass is trying to get into their car.
He's probably stealing it. Do you think Miami Dolphins can make a run for Julio? Not much.
Shut up. Shut up. All right, man.
But anyway.
I don't know about you. I'm going to try the voiceover thing. You got me.
Yeah, I'm going to try that too. I'm going to definitely tweak it. But if you guys want to know, what are you guys talking about the voiceover? So, of course, we're trying out new systems and our new editing systems that we have, and we're going to try some new things. So that's what we're talking about. But Dan, well, thank you again for joining me on the show.
My eyes were like blurry for like 2 seconds. Jeez, probably the fireball. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Rachel, for recommending me that.
Fireball's not bad.
Fireball's not bad. It's a big bottle of Fireball, too. It's a big bottle. Holy hell. All right, I think I'm done for the
night. Everyone, you've been listening to the Air Raid Attack podcast. Find us on iTunes and Google, iHeartRadio, all that fun stuff. Special announcements on the Twitter, so stay tuned at @AirRaid_podcast. Follow Dan at
Staniel Smooth on Instagram and Twitter, and at Time to BS Podcast on Instagram and Twitter.
There you have it. And Follow me on my personal Twitter, On Air with Mike, and we'll have more. But thank you for guys listening. We will see you next week and have a wonderful, safe weekend.
Woo!